Dream warrior, ain't gonna dream no more. I'm a dream warrior.
Recorded live from the dungeon, this is the Dream Warrior Review, and I'm Kurt Thomas.
And coming at you live from the hills of Tennessee,
I'm Mick Strawn.
Mick Strawn.
You know that shot looks really good when you're not in it.
How you like this?
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
I like the blue and the green and the red.
Yeah. Woohoo! Okay. Now what are we doing?
Several groups of people try to survive a zombie pandemic that unleashes itself into downtown Seoul.
Okay.
That was so hard to read that. Oh, well, let's talk about this just a little bit before we get into it.
Okay.
I just want people to know that this is a prequel to the Train to Busan, which we both really liked.
Oh, absolutely.
And there is a sequel, actually, to Train to Busan I didn't know about when you first texted me. I'm like, oh, actually, there is a sequel. It's called Peninsula.
Right.
Yeah, and it was released on August 7th, though, and I don't know. I couldn't find it anywhere online. So
it's very difficult. I know that for sure, that it is very difficult to find, but I've seen some people who've seen it. I've heard good things.
Yeah.
I've heard a mixture of things.
If you're listening or watching us, you better bet your furry ass that we're going to review that one.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
This one is about Seoul Station. I could sum this up in a better way.
I didn't know that this had a prequel.
So I don't think it was really prequel, because I think the plot of this one is this one guy really wants his money. That's how I would describe it. But how does it connect to Train to Busan?
Well, how does it connect? Because this is the virus in Train to Busan.
This is how it starts, but
this is how it starts. Well, I'm not saying it's a direct prequel, because for one thing, this is animated.
No, actually, at first I had trouble getting into it because it was really slow burn at the beginning.
Yeah, it was. It was a slow burn.
And then it finally got a little more interesting.
And then it got really, really freaky at the end, because things turned around. And you know what I have to say is I got a feeling that through this whole thing that we were talking about sort of a comparison about social ills as compared to how bad a pandemic could be.
Right.
and how we drift in and out of the pandemic with the horribleness of our social ills, you know, and it keeps, the one keeps putting the other in perspective.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of social commentary about.
Huge.
I mean, also class system. Like, I don't know how it is in Korea, but it looks like it's very clear how it is.
It is considered, if you take the Oscar-winning film, the South Korean film that won this year.
Parasite.
Parasite. If you take Parasite, which is also basically looking at the stratified, of how stratified in class systems South Korea is, and then this is also an example of the stratification of classes, and it's how the pandemic actually makes stratification of the classes worse, and it's hard to tell which one is the worst pandemic. And oh my God, it sounds like I'm talking about America now.
Yeah, it kind of sounds really familiar, doesn't it?
It really, boy, that kind of sounds like the news.
And there's a scene that I can relate to. It's like, okay, you're at a protest, and on one side you have a pandemic coming at you, and the other side you have the government.
That's right, right in the middle. And right in the middle, you can't make up your mind which way you're going to run.
Right.
Man, where is that happening?
No, I wonder.
Yeah, Portland, Washington.
This is I mean, besides that, it's the zombie part of it's pretty cool. I think they could have done a better job making them move faster. It was hard. I mean, when it's animated, I'm sure it's hard to, but they blurred it a little bit. They didn't really show how crazy they were, like in the live action one. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, the live action one, and the funny thing about it is that it's funny how the pandemic kind of fades, and it becomes social commentary.
Right. Yeah.
Especially at the end. The end is almost pure.
Yeah.
That the trials of people.
The thing that happened to the girl with the guy and the girl.
Right. The girl with the guy and the thing and the thing and the thing and the thing. Right. That is as bad as it kind of makes the pandemic pale in comparison.
Right.
And it's kind of what's happening here in so many ways. It was kind of freaky, to tell you the truth. It kind of scared me a little.
It made it more scary, actually.
It really did. It really did, because I wanted to keep saying to myself, well, at least it's fictional and in South Korea instead of real and right here. You know, because you're going, oh, this is a film about where a pandemic comes along and just makes the social stratification of the entire country just go to hell. And I go, well, that's a good thing that it's fiction. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's a little bit less enjoyable now that you put it that way. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
So there's some things that are funny about this. So, like, actually, I did like how they kind of made the zombies crazy, because they would just fall off buildings to try to get to their
right,
or they would pile up on each other. But they did that better. That in the live action, that's amazing, by the way. So if you haven't seen Train to Busan,
in Train to Busan, yeah, you see these zombies going crazy, and it is so amazing. There are times where the zombies are moving like liquid.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think you should watch Night of the Living Dead, do a double feature. Watch Night of the Living Dead, and then watch Train to Busan.
Well, the thing is, and you should see clips of World War Z to go with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because that also has the good zombies like water, man. Zombies like water.
Well, I think sometimes Brad Pitt kind of comes across as a zombie. So, anyway, that's just a side note.
Yeah.
Did you think that there were some really stupid things that happened, like leaving doors open, and why would you run into a subway? I just have little questions that bothered me.
Questions.
I mean, of course, it's a horror movie, I guess, but I mean, if you're running from something, why would you leave the door wide open?
Well, yeah, but
and you might get trapped in a subway. Just saying, but. I don't know if I'm ruining anything by saying Subway.
Subway? Yeah.
I mean, if you really need a sandwich, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, you know what? I found it probably entertaining from the point of view of it was much more entertaining being as I have seen Train to Busan first.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and what you're seeing the triangulation that becomes Train to Busan, but at the same time, there's that social aspect thrown into it that kind of is a chilling sub-note to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What if you saw this what if you saw this without seeing Train to Busan and just saw it as an animated feature that would kind of blow your mind a little bit, I think, probably.
Yeah. It would definitely give me a different feel.
More social commentary, for sure.
Yeah, but the funny thing about it is that the end of it is different when you know that all the world is doomed.
Yeah, if you've seen Train to Busan, yeah.
If you see Train to Busan, you're like, you know, because you're there's that overriding thing in your mind that says, well, yeah, the matters the matters of a simple man and a woman compared to the destruction of an entire society seems like nothing at all.
That's all. I don't know if I have a response. I'm taking that in.
There you go. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so what would you rate this?
Well, I was actually looking. We reviewed this one back in June of 2018.
Train to Busan got a 4,
and we
right?
75. It was episode 75. You gave it a 4. I gave it 3.8. I was very stingy.
Wow, what the hell?
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I was having a bad day.
See, I knew I gave it a 4 though.
Well, there's been a lot of these that I've gone through, and I'm like, maybe I'd rate that higher but I'd probably watch it again to make sure.
You know what? Almost universally, at the ones that we've looked back at, you change your mind.
Well, I usually either change my mind for the better.
And you know what? And you're always mocking me that I don't take this seriously.
I
right?
don't think I'm changing my mind on a couple of these that we've done recently. No.
Sure. That's what you say, but we'll look back and prove you wrong.
Well,
okay.
I think I don't know. I'm like a good solid 3 something, like a 3.5 maybe. But with that said, that means Train to Busan should be 4.
I would have to give this maybe 2.8, and I'll tell you why.
Wow.
Because an awful lot of it was predictable, and the animation was less than stellar. I mean, the thing is you can do absolutely anything that you want, and here's the crazy ass thing is that here's a guy that could have done anything he wanted with the animation, and then he made a live action film version of it that was 20, 30 times as crazy ass as this was. So
see, I think you're convincing me.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Maybe I've dropped a couple points. I'm at 3.3 now. Keep talking.
Yeah, I'll talk you down off that cliff, baby.
No, I thought it was actually pretty good. I don't know. The first took me a while to get into it until we saw the first kill, or whatever that was. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, I got into it. But I think I kept thinking to myself,
that was just snacking, that first kill.
If this was a live action though, I would have liked it a lot more.
Yeah,
even if it was scripted exactly the same way, I'd like it better if it was live action.
Yeah, for animation, I think it could have gone a lot crazier.
Because part of the scare factor for me is the zombies coming at you, and animated it doesn't really. Okay, now I'm getting a 3.1. No, the animation. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not scary as much as the, a real person going. Hey, I always have broken necks too. Have you noticed that?
I wanted to point out something that not off topic or anything like that.
No,
but,
not us.
I have a book out that's called
a book?
Behind the Screams. I just wanted to point out that I have now in earnest started Behind the Screams 3, which is the second book in my series.
All right.
And I brought on a second writer to help me, and his name's Chris Prevost. So this is an announcement to the world that if this is any indication, within 7 months we will have Behind the Screams 3.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
And Behind the Screams is all of a sudden just selling really well. I don't understand.
Well, if you need somebody to record any interviews.
Yes.
Anyway.
Well, there you go. So are we done with this turkey?
I think so.
Okay. Thanks for coming by. Every day you should eat a green thing.
Yeah. And hopefully every day you should poop a green thing. If things are going well.
I'm just worried about it going in. He's worried about what comes out. You be the judge.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, that was.
Robert England, I'm available next any day next week. I don't care what time it is. So if you want to interview him,
bye.
All right, talk to you later.
Leave the meeting. Leave the meeting.